I've been working in Silicon Valley
since early 1990s. So I've been mostly working on cloud computing, cloud storage. I started in this Foggie Max project, since 2020. So I met a group of people, and we are all a believer for Web3. We believe that we need to give the ownership of the data to the web user. And we have a very experienced team in P2P protocol and file storage. I have an engineering team that used to work for IBM Cloud team. We also have team working for with Thunder and also FlashCat. They are all the top three P2P provider of the world. So that's how we get started. Yeah.
So thanks for sharing. That's your background. But then where's the exciting opportunity? How did that connect?
Oh, we are the real DePIN device, that storage layer for Web3. The key point for Web3 is we want data ownership belongs to producer of the data, but most of the data, especially bigger size, for example, like pictures and videos, they're still stored in Web2 storage. We want to build a real storage layer for Web3. That means decentralized with protocols that support real data read and write, and also a decentralized storage marketplace. So for user to find a storage service provider per their need. The so-called Foggy is actually a physical device. Put it at home and connect to your home network. You can see and touch, and you can access who can access your data. Also connect to a decentralized DP network that's can accessible on Web3. We think that's another big step toward decentralization of the web.
Thank you. And Felicia, how did you come into this story? What's your background, and how do these two stories come in together?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me here. And my background, actually, I was for the executive education, and I was in traditional business for a long time. I used to coach and train executives for quite over 10,000 in 20 years of my, career history. I came to Web3 because I ran into a group of really excellent people, and also Victor. I understand from Victor that he want to be the entrepreneur for Web2 when he was quite young. But I got inspired by Victor Chen because at that time he got the idea, which other people make it accomplished and make a big achievement. He so regret, and then he realized, oh, it is time from Web2 to Web3. It's really good opportunity. I can see that too. So I kind of jump in together with him. that is why coming to Web3. Thank you.
Nice. And a disclosure, me too. An investment fund is Aleph Crypto. I'm their advisor, and they are an investor in DMC, a related company to Foggy. So just sharing how I'm related to all this. But what's really hot today, this is how I know DePIN is getting popular. Actually, I want to see if I can DM this guy. I have to text him. I don't know his damn username. Yo, we're talking about DePIN on the Community Service Hour. Do you want to jump into the Twitter space?
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This is timely. I actually just joined right before you mentioned my name. So nice to meet all of you guys. I'm definitely not as far in the trenches as you. I'm sort of an outsider. I work in the asset management industry, but on the periphery of all this and just curious to learn more. So Will's right in saying that I kind of texted him out of the blue yesterday, asking him about DePIN. It was the first time I'd ever heard of this term, actually, because I saw a different Twitter thread about a company called AIOs. I don't know how you pronounce it, but basically their whole shtick or whatever is saying like make your computer work for you. And as far as I can glean from what I read, it's sort of letting other people use extra bandwidth or extra space on your personal computer as sort of like a node in this whole decentralized storage and compute space. And so from like a consumer perspective, not really knowing anything about the technology, I was curious about a few things from it. Like number one, what is DePIN and is it legit? And I think Will talked a little bit about that a second ago. And then just like from more of a safety and security standpoint, my main concern not knowing anything about this is really from the safety and security standpoint. Like number one, if I'm letting my own computer be used as sort of a node in some decentralized network, like is that safe for my computer? Like number one, is it going to fry my processor by using my computer all the time? And number two, like can can someone be storing bad files on my computer? Like if someone's doing something illegal or hosting some files they can't, and then whatever the FBI looks into it and they find out, hey, one of these files, we traced it back and it was decentralized, but part of that decentralized storage was on Paul's computer. What's the liability to me for that? And I'd even reached out to this company through Twitter and I never heard back asking them these questions. So this might be a natural time. Like if anyone else on the call can speak, authoritatively to that sort of thing, I'd be curious to learn more.
That was a good question. We need to be able to follow the regulation. When you back up your data, it's going to be encrypted on other people's device. However, they don't take any responsibility in distribute your data, because any distribution of the data, on the Web3 is actually controlled by you. This is why we call it owner online device.
It's by the person who did it, by the person who created the file.
Yeah, by the person who created the data. If you post the data on a Web2 platform, they can censor you. But however, whenever it's illegal content, it's always you take the responsibility. I mean, I don't think any other platform, the big platform, will take responsibility for the content you post there. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. That's a good analogy. That's really helpful. And I think just from like a marketing standpoint, whenever you're talking about these deep-in projects for like noobs like me and people who aren't so tech savvy, just being able to put that in plain words like that and share that analogy of like, hey, if someone posts something illegal on Facebook, it's not like Facebook is doing something illegal. That could probably put people's mind at ease a little bit.
I can compare this a little bit from the legal perspective on other projects. So even with Tornado Cash, even with this type of a project that the FBI is trying to trace and they are actively shutting it down and laundered money, however much important these videos or whatever is going to be on your computer, money is more important. And they've explicitly said, even for money, that there's no responsibility for those intermediaries.
So this is going to sound probably pretty ignorant to you guys, but with this decentralized storage, say like I'm running a node, and so people are storing stuff in my computer. Like say I never turn my computer on again, or I decide I don't want to be a node anymore. How does that work? Is that data lost, or is this like really is the data stored in multiple places? So like even if one node falls off, it doesn't matter. Like what's the redundancy?
It's actually stored in multiple people's devices, so that one device is offline. It will not. The data is still accessible. The thing is, however, if basically your the online condition of your node will be recorded, and if you don't stay online, don't always stay online, your token incentive will be reduced, because for some time you're not like 100% online. Yeah.
Awesome, that makes sense. Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, to add on that, because Foggie Max, the underlying system is designed based on the Nash system design. because the protocol is CWFS and DMC. So this is technology that just like a Bitcoin, the network already online since 2008, and they keep all the data ever stored on it, and also encrypted. So this next consensus system design also just incentivize the user to contribute the unused computing resource or storage to the network, and then reward them with the DMC token for the participants.
That's helpful too. So when you're thinking about like the different nodes for this sort of decentralized storage, is it mostly like individual computers, like Paul's personal computer or William's personal computer, or might it be something similar to? I know like the Bitcoin miners, they have like dedicated Bitcoin rigs that are just kind of like running all the time.
So it follows the rules of supply and demand. So you can access this layer through any client. You can use your personal PC, or you can use a cell phone. We have the Foggie Mobile, and also we also have a dedicated DePIN dedicated servers like Foggie Max. And we also have professional mining sites that they have over petabytes of storage capacity to service the community, the Web3 community.
Awesome, thanks. This has been an incredible education. I really appreciate you guys.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Also, Paul asked for the definition for the DePIN. DePIN is the decentralized. D is a decentralized physical device that using the token to incentivize the decentralized network. For example, for Foggie Max, it is a DePIN for storage. It can be used at home, and it uses DMC token to incentivize the data transaction and the storage in the DMC network. So this is definition for the DePIN to answer the post question, the first question.
I'll tell you what I told Paul too when he was hitting me up. You can use VirtualBox. It's a very good software for having a computer inside a computer that's isolated. So typically, if you're running software inside of that, doesn't matter what it is. If you put all the viruses in there, usually they can't get out. So that kind of reduces your risk. But Legend is here. Legend's usually the loudest one.
Yes, I'm American, and everyone needs to know it. Look at me, very very loud.
See, and I'm going to see you in a couple weeks, right? So we're going to get crazy in Estonia.
Indeed, yeah. I'm going to do my best to make it there. I should be able to get there. I can't wait. Honestly, one of the best times of my life, going over there.
What's going on, Will? So I have bought me like 2 tractors from DIMO, a part of the DePIN project. But I was thinking, like, what's the best way to actually get get fleets, or like put fleets under contract with just the tokenization of it? If you kind of understand what I'm saying. So it's just like, I know it's going to be passive income, but how like I can help the company grow. So they actually wanted to like basically do business with me, but I don't know what's the best way to actually approach that situation.
Oh yes, demo is for the vehicle part, and on
Right.
CESS in the January they have the demo party, and we met the founders, and there's pretty cool DePIN project as well. Yeah.
Got you. So like,
Yeah,
I'm listening
a
to you.
third party like who loves burritos? That a third party, they approach us because they did a research on compare with return on investment, passive income on the DePIN project, and demo is listed on the second. We're listed on the third, so you can use it as your additional hard drive at home. And in the meantime, you contribute to your node to the network. Foggie Max.
Foggie Max.
Yeah.
Foggie Max.
You can earn DMC out of it. Yeah.
I think to help, you just ask, how can you help in projects to grow? For us, it's simple, right? So put the data that you used to store on Google Drive, on iCloud, put it in DMC space. For DIMO, it's a very it's a different project. I think they put a device on your car and collect all the data from your onboard computer. I talked with their founder. So right now they just, I think they're focusing on build a DePIN networking. But however, they haven't tried to make the full use, make more use of the data. And thank you for helping.
Thank you. No, thank you for the insight. I'm definitely going to do my research. I appreciate you, Will.
Yeah, thank you. And as a matter of fact, we welcome collaboration and partnership. So we feel that storage is a very basic need from the human being, right? For our digital data. So no matter what kind of the DePIN project, they always create tons of the data. So our Foggie Max, we have underlying protocol called the ERC 7585. It's good at of the tons of data to store here. And we love to work with you to grow together, and let's help each other and support each other. And I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Eddie, I want to give you a couple more check boxes here. So, every project wants users, so you can use the project. Every project wants partners, so you can be a partner. And to be clear, that means helping them find users. It also involves technical, and technical doesn't mean programming. Technical means making products. So giving feedback, making videos of your experience, explaining things to people, writing things down, documenting. What's very cool about this industry is that on Shark Tank, you watch the project and you're like, oh, that's cool, I might buy that. Here, every project you can just join. You're like, I want to do artwork for that project. I think that dog looks really cool. Great, there's an opening for that. You can insert yourself in many ways on these type of projects. So it's a lot of fun, and don't be shy. Eddie, I will hit you up. I will tweet this, and I will give you the official links for Foggie and the team, and all the ways you can get involved.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Sounds really cool.
Any questions not about Foggie? Anything happened in the past week you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, how much it will be Bitcoin tomorrow? I think it.
Hello.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say, let's look at it. Let me look at the chart real quick.
It's a Sonic Obama Bitcoin.
That's right, buddy. I'm glad you know, and that's exactly what the ticker is. I'm glad you're there with us. All right, let's take a look. And the founder of that token is the guy who fought Ben Armstrong in the karate tournament.
Ooh.
Oh.
He wore his Sonic Obama thing into the ring. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. Bitcoin.
Hello, guys.
69.5 tomorrow.
69.5?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure that's not the Bitcoin.
मुझे follow करें मैं आपको follow करूँगा.
Yeah, 69,500.
Oh, wow.
That's what I think.
That's the official tea leaf reading. John McAfee lived to witness Bitcoin ending at 32,000 with his famous prediction of 100,000. But we're going to hit tomorrow at 69.5 according to the tea leaves.
I think it's going to be after looking at the chart further, I think it'll be just above 70,000, maybe 70,300 is my, I don't think maybe it'll go below 69, but I won't stay there long, I don't think.
Okay.
Anyway, 69.5 to 70,300 is my guess.
But when six figures?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Estonia. Yeah, because the halving has happened. By then, there's a little bit of time. Yeah, why not?
All right, so Will, I've got a question for you. I was listening to a podcast on the way home, and it was with a guy who has a company. He does like $3 million in revenue a year, so probably not enough to like IPO him and the host were talking about, wouldn't it be great if we could just issue a token that could confer, actual property rights and ownership to a company? And of course, like the other side of that is once it becomes that, it becomes kind of like a registered security and probably under the purview of the SEC. Just as like a thought exercise, do you think we're ever going to get to the point where a company, like not just like a project online, but like a real company that sells like sneakers or something, will not IPO but do like an IPO through a coin? And if so, like what steps are between now and then? Like, is that going to happen? When is it going to happen? What's standing in the way?
Absolutely. Not for something like Epic or Discord, but something like your neighborhood pizza shop, right? And they want to monetize it a little bit, and maybe interest rates are really high, so they don't want to take debt, right? So they want to sell some equity, but it's too hard. I think the solution here is that we're going to register with the SEC, which is going to be easier than it sounds, because I've seen a lot of crypto projects do it. You just mail a letter in, they have a form, they usually don't ask a lot of questions, and you do have to register it. And you don't have to do all the things a public company does, but you do have to do a security offering form to the SEC. And if you're going to use tokens, there are projects out there. The thing you're calling right now, the thing you're talking about is called security token offerings, STO, security. There are a lot of companies that do it. Just crypto people are solving problems related to ownership of companies, right? I'll give you a drop on my friend who's working on stuff like this. Leshner, father of DeFi.
Yeah, it makes sense, because like the other thing that comes along with ownership in the security sense is like voting rights. And I feel like the way it works now with securities and proxy voting, and there's a bunch of like kind of intermediary firms, and the process is really like gummed up in the asset management space. Like there's just so many players and steps. I wonder if like once this takes off in more of the blockchain space, it will just remove a lot of that complexity, and there'll be a lot more like direct voting and participation for whatever shareholder like resolutions or issues.
Yeah, so Superstate, this guy's working on, right now he's got some bond funds, which are the least, there's no voting rights on a bond fund. That would be fun. His goal is to tokenize some assets and one day move from T+1 to T+0. It's just a really exciting way to modernize our financial system. And he's starting with the absolute easiest products, US short-dated government funds. I mean, this is basically like a money market, right? But there's other innovations. And like you said, voting is important too. So if that's what you're trying to do, they really don't care about the technology. They just want less, they don't want lawsuits, they don't want confusion. And luckily blockchain removes that confusion.